Alright, hello and welcome everyone. This is Faceless Opinion. Welcome you back to another video. It is November and it is time for Skyrim Month. Yes, I haven't forgotten, even though it is very late in the month of when this video gets out. But yeah, again, been busy, haven't had a chance to actually work on this, but here I am now, and believe me, this was a very ambitious project. What is it? Well, yes, it is a tier list, but not just any tier list I bring you. It is the Ultimate Skyrim Quest Plus DLC tier list maker. So, I have gathered quests, many quests, a lot of quests, from basically main story, factions, DLCs, side, basically anything you can think of. We have a total of 227 quests to go through, and we have a very detailed tier list on many things we're going to go over. So let me go over the 6 main categories and then the miscellaneous categories. Starting from worst to best, trash tier. This is bottom worst quest in the game. Get rid of them. We want to throw them in the trash can. They're that bad. If I had the power to remove them, I would. D tier. These are like our bad quests, not very good quests, the disappointing quests, the quests I didn't like. C tier, which will kind of serve as the average tier. Like, they're okay. They're not awful. They're not good. They're in that middle category. So C. B, this is going to be like where the good quests are. Like, alright, these are ones that I kind of like. I'm alright with. They're not bad. Pretty good. A, these are going to be like the great quests. Like, amazing, superb, like probably one of the better ones in the game. And S tier, best of the best. Self-explanatory. Then we get the 3 miscellaneous ones. We have Radiant, which is for all the Radiant quests that are going to show up, because this list is going to be very, very detailed. We have Don't Remember, which means I don't remember any details about the quest whatsoever, and Never Did It, which means I never actually played it. And you might be surprised, because there are some quests I actually never actually played before. So, let us get started with this. And sorry for the ads right here. Tier list is just so not great when it comes to it. So, let's start with the main quest. Alright, Unbound. This is going to be our first one that starts everything off. This is the starting mission that gets us started on everything. You know what? I'm going to give it an A. I like the beginning aspect of it. I love the build-up of it. The first appearance of Alduin and everything about it, the world building, and not to mention the iconic meme of, hey, you there, you're finally awake? Let's be real honest, that's like iconic right there. Alright, next up, Before the Storm, in which you have to go to Riverwood, talk to whoever's there, and then talk to Jarl Balgruuf about the dragon crisis and all that stuff. It's run-of-the-mill, it's average, I'll give this C. Nothing super amazing happens, but it is what it is. Alright, next up, Bleak's Falls Barrow. So, first major dungeon of the game, assuming if we're going off of main story side of things. I like Bleak Falls Barrow. I think it's a good dungeon. I would definitely put Bleak Falls in probably one of my best dungeons. I'm pretty sure I did make that video and put it there, but I'd say I'll give it a B. I think it's a good dungeon. A very good starting dungeon. Alright. Next up is going to be Dragon Rising. Dragon Rising, our first encounter with a dragon, where we slay it, kill it, discover we're the Dragonborn, shout for the first time. This is pretty good quest, I'll say. Pretty important, very noteworthy. That kickstarts the actual proper main story and gets everything rolling for that. I'll give it a B. Alright, next up, Way of the Voice, where you go to High Hrothgar, meet the Greybeards, and do some more exposition stuff. I'll give it a C. It's fine for what it is. Alright, the Horn of Jurgen Windcaller. So, I don't like this quest. For me, there's always one part of this quest I've always never liked, and that was like that one little, I guess, puzzle mechanism thing where you have to do whirlwind sprint on those stones to get those gates open, then you cross through it. I always messed up on the timing with it. I think it was always bugged when I did it, so I think this is going to be a D tier quest. Not to mention, I never understood how Delphine was able to sneak into that crypt. What was its name? Uffengrad. And how she was able to steal the horn without activating any of the traps or encountering any of the enemies. So I'll give it a D because it's not good. It's very disappointing. I didn't like it. And it's not really that important in the grand scheme of things. Alright, Blame the Dark. This is where you and Delphine go to Kynes Grove and see Alduin resurrect another dragon. I forget what that dragon's name, but it doesn't matter because we kind of kill him pretty easily. So, this is going to be... I'll give it C. It's fine for what it is. Not as special as Dragon Rising. Granted, you do see Alduin resurrect somebody, but I don't know. I don't think it's as iconic as the first one. Alright, next up, Diplomatic Immunity, where we go into the Thalmor Embassy to gather information. You know what? I like this one. I like it a lot, because A, it's different compared to some of the other quests in the main quest. B, you get to mess with the Thalmor, and that's always kind of funny, even though the Thalmor aren't that important in the main quest whatsoever. But overall, I really liked it. I like the premise of it. I think I'll give it an S. I think it's really good. I actually really like Diplomatic Immunity. Alright, A Cornered Rat. You go find Esbern in the Rat Way, you talk to him, interact with him, and get him to join up with Delphine in the Blades. C tier. And we're probably going to have a lot of quests in C tier, because as I said earlier, it is the average tier, the middle tier. So most quests will usually go in C. So if that one's the biggest at the end of this, that's why. Alright, Alduin's Wall, where you go to Skyhaven Temple, learn information about Alduin, all that. This is probably going to be another C tier, which is unsurprising, because it's just more of another exposition quest, in all honesty. Alright, Throw of the World, where you go to the Throw of the World and meet Parthenax for the first time. So the reveal of discovering Parthenax, who is the leader of the Greybeards, is a dragon. It's kind of shocking. But I also really like Parthenax. I think he's probably one of the best characters in the game. I'm going to give it a B. I think Parthenax deserves that, because he is best character, more useful than the Blades. Alright, Elder Knowledge. I really like Elder Knowledge. It's a very good quest, and I'm going to tell you all this right here, right now. So for me, I really like Dwemer Ruins, and any quest that involves Dwemer Ruins at lowest gets B tier, because Dwemer Ruins are the best ruins, and I will die on that hill for me, because I love the, machine aesthetics of it. It's really cool, because you don't really see that a lot in fantasy settings, so I really like that. But back to Elder Knowledge, very important, the Elder Scroll, all that, Blackreach. I'm kind of tempted to throw this into S too, because I really do like Elder Knowledge, but is it S or is it A? I'm going to throw it into S. Screw it. I love Elder Knowledge. It's a really good quest. I'm going to defend that aspect of it. Alright. Alduin's Bane. So, this is where you get the Elder Scroll, you learn Dragon Rend, and you have that fight with Alduin at Throw of the World. I'll give it a C. It's fine for what it is, but not the finale. I consider it more of a filler fight, if anything, so you could see Dragon Rend used for the first time. Alright, Season Unending. So this is going to be our first optional quest, because you don't really need it for the main story if you finish the Civil War quest line. I don't really like it. It basically just serves as a delay. It doesn't really solve anything. It's pointless. It's useless. Trash tier. Get rid of it. Never liked it. Alright, The Fallen, in which you have to catch Odahviing at Dragon's Reach. I really like the premise of it. The trap was really cool. The interaction was really good. A tier. Alright, Parthenax, where Delphine gives you the bonehead decision to kill Parthenax. Was there any other place I was going to put it? Trash tier, easily. I don't know if you can hear it, but a train's passing by. Oh well, the show must go on. So if you hear, like, the train whistle, you know. Yeah, I know. I live down by the railroad. It's fun, especially when the train comes at night, because apparently that happens. Alright, World Eater's Ire. That is where you go to Skuldolphin, you gotta fight your way through so you can go to Sovngarde. Alright encounter, fight a lot of dragons. You fight a dragon priest, Draugr, all that stuff. Pretty good aspect of it. I'll give it a C. Alright, Sovngarde. So, Sovngarde, you just go to Sovngarde, you gotta travel through it and go to the hall to talk to legendary heroes to help you kill Alduin. So honestly, I feel like I should give this a C or a D because nothing really much happens, but oof, that music for Sovngarde. And Sovngarde is a really cool location, but that music, like the Sovngarde OST is like my favorite from Skyrim overall, so I feel like it doesn't deserve B, but I'm gonna put it in B just for the music alone because I love the Sovngarde OST. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Alright, Dragon Slayer, the end quest where you fight and kill Alduin. I'll give it a B, because it was pretty good, but I feel like there's more interesting conclusions to quests that are better than it. For what it is, I think it's good enough for B. So, all of that is for the main quest. So, main quest is done. Now we're going to be pivoting to the Dark Brotherhood. So, our first quest for Dark Brotherhood is actually going to be Delayed Burial. So, for many people who don't know, you can actually encounter Cicero a lot earlier before you join the Dark Brotherhood, where he's transporting the Night Mother's coffin. I didn't know this was a quest, and as a result, I kind of never played it, so it's going to go in the never did it category, but I have heard about it later on, so that is something you can do. I've just never actually gone to do it, so never did it. Alright, first one for Dark Brotherhood proper, Innocence Lost. You talk to, I forget his name, Arantino Boy, and then you gotta kill Grelod the Kind. I think, do I want to give it a B? I don't think it's C, but I don't know if I'd say it's B. I'll be generous, I'll throw it into B. Because, it is memorable, especially going in and seeing a boy probably doing stuff with bones and meat, and I forget, was there a heart there too? Maybe, but it's an interesting one. It gets the ball rolling for it. Alright, Friends Like These, where Astrid locks you in the shack because you stole a contract and you gotta kill someone. Honest answer, this one's kind of boring. Kind of like I guess it's a build-up quest, but it's like uninteresting to me. I don't go back and think about this whatsoever. I'll give it a D tier. Not that special, at least for me. Sanctuary, you go to the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary for the first time, interact with people, learn stuff. I'll give it a C. It's just like your standard exposition stuff. More interesting because with Friends Like These, just kind of like, whatever. Alright, Morning Never Comes. So this is where first proper contract for the story side of things, where you go talk to Muri to kill Elaine Dufana and Dwemer Ruin, so you automatically know it's going to be in the top part of the tier list. And you got to kill the Shatter Shield girl in Windhelm. It's a pretty good one for what it is. I will give Morning Never Comes an A. I think it's good. I like it for what it is. Alright, Whispers in the Dark, in which you hide in the Night Mother's coffin and ease listening on Cicero talking crazy. I like Cicero. I think he's a very good character, but I don't think this is his time to shine, so I'll give Whispers in the Dark a C, because, like I said in our exposition quest, Alright, Silence Has Been Broken. You go to the ruin to meet Amon Motier to learn about assassinating the Emperor. I think it's fair. It's going to be C tier. Like I said, it's another exposition thing. The surprise reveal that you're killing the Emperor is pretty good, but the overall other stuff involving it, I don't think it pushes it up to B tier. Bound Until Death, where you must go and kill Vittoria Vici at her wedding. Honestly, this is pretty good quest. Probably one of the more memorable quests of the Dark Brotherhood. I'll give it a B, because I like this one. You can make an argument for A, but I think B because there's other things I think are more deserving of A. All right, breaching security, where you have to kill Commander Morrow's son. And this probably gets the ball rolling on the Dark Brotherhood's inevitable destruction and Astrid's stupid decision to make a deal with him. It's fine, but the one thing I don't like about this quest is like the randomness of like where Morrow goes. Well, Gaius Morrow, the son, because the schedule stuff, it changes per day. I'd never really liked quests like that in general, and I'm not going to make an exception now, so D tier. Tier for Madness, that's going to be A tier for sure, because I love Cicero. He is really great. The encounter in the Dawnstar Sanctuary is amazing, so I think it really deserves A. Not S, because there's something else that does belong in S, but like, I could be convinced for S, but I think A is a really, really good placement for it. All right, Recipe for Disaster, where you get to disguise yourself as the gourmet to try and assassinate the Emperor, but this is just the beginning part of it, so I'll give it a B. Same with To Kill an Emperor, because these two are connected, because, you kill the gourmet to steal his identity, and then you gotta dress up and poison him, and the mechanic of, like, creating the actual stew is pretty good, and the other chef's reaction to your race. I forget what you said if you were an orc, but in actuality, the gourmet was an orc, so that's funny. Alright, Death Incarnate, that's where the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary gets destroyed. Astrid's Bonehead decision is revealed. I'll give it a C. And then the ending of the actual proper quest for the Dark Brotherhood, Hail Sith, is where you kill the Emperor. S tier. It is the most exciting action part of it, the pinnacle of it. So S tier deservedly. Alright, so this one is going to be an amalgamated quest because, in the Dark Brotherhood you have all those contract kill so-and-so. I put all of them together because I didn't want to do each one individually because A, I don't remember each one individually, and B, I don't think anyone cares if I amalgamated all of them. I think it'd be easier and more coherent that way. So contract kill, and I put dots on it. So I'll put this as C because some can range from pretty good to kind of uninteresting, and I think that's a fair placement for it. Alright, where you hang your enemies' heads. So this is going to be where you refurbish the Dark Brotherhood because you gotta set up based on the Dawnstar Sanctuary. It requires a lot of money. I'm going to give this a D because basically you spend your entire reward for killing the Emperor on this. Like, I think you'll have like 1,000 gold left over because it's 20,000 originally. It's like 18, 19,000 to repair. So D because you'll lose most of your money afterwards. Honor thy family. So this is the quest you do if you do something that gets you kicked out of the Dark Brotherhood. I've never gotten kicked out of the Dark Brotherhood, so never did it. And Dark Brotherhood Forever. This is going to be the Radiant quest that always auto-plays when you complete it to, get stuff going. Goes into Radiant tier. Our first Radiant quest we'll encounter. And then Destroy the Dark Brotherhood, where you do the quest Destroy the Dark Brotherhood. That's trash tier because you basically lose out doing the entire quest. You lose out all the rewards like the Blade of Woe, the Shadow Mirror, all that stuff, the trophies. And it's not worth it to do it, so trash tier easily. So, that takes care of Dark Brotherhood placements. Let us move on to the College of Winterhold. So, first up is going to be First Lessons, where you do know the first lessons of the college. I like it for what it is because it gives that impression that, you're going to learn something. Granted, you don't really learn as much magic in this, but I kind of like how it makes it look like that. I'll give it a B because I like Tolfir. I like a lot of the apprentices, even though the apprentices do not become relevant whatsoever until like after Starfall happens. But speaking of, under Starfall, I really like Starfall as a location. It's pretty good. Granted, it does give us the first encounter of the Psijics, and if you know me, you know I hate the Psijic Order with a frickin' passion. So, I'll give it a B, because I like Starfall, and I think it's connected to another quest that we'll do later on as well with the Gralder Amulet, but B. Alright, hitting the books where you go, have to recover books to try and learn about the not the staff, the Orb of Magnus. Was it the Orb of Magnus or the Ball of Magnus? I forget what it was called. But Magnus's sphere, or whatever. I don't remember. What was it called? Whatever, the orb. No, Eye of Magnus. Oh my god, I'm looking at it right here. It's the Eye of Magnus. Thank you, tier list, for reminding me. Hitting the books, C tier. Alright, good intentions. So, what happens with good intentions? I think this is where you encounter the Sigix again, which is bleh. And I think you have to go into the midden to talk to the Augur of Dunlane. Honestly, the midden is a unique place, but it's not really brought up a lot. The Augur, I wish we knew more about. Like, honestly, I don't care about good intentions, D tier. Revealing the Unseen, where you go to Mazolf to learn the location of the Staff of Magnus. Because this is going to be a very, very big deal. So, Dwemer Ruin gets a B tier. Even though the Synod are kind of boring, forgettable characters, I forget they exist. Containment, that's where the Eye of Magnus goes crazy because Ancano's doing some stuff. So as a result, you have to, fight the anomalies. So, C tier. Alright, the Staff of Magnus, where you get to go to Labyrinthian to recover it. Labyrinthian is the best dungeon in the entire game. You encounter Moroki, who's probably one of the best dragon priests in the game, barring maybe Mirak to an extent. I love the Staff of Magnus. This is going to be let me scroll up, S tier. And the Eye of Magnus, the showdown between you and Ancano. I'm kind of disappointed with it because your allies get incapacitated into a one-on-one, which isn't bad, but kind of disappointing to an extent. I'll give it a B. Overall, it's fine for what it is. Alright, so let us continue on with some of the additional College of Winterhold quests. So, Arniel's Endeavor. I believe this is a quest you do with Arniel to help him with, I guess, conjuration to an extent. I'm going to be honest, I actually never did this whatsoever. So as a result, it's in the never did category. Alright, Out of Balance. I think this is where you adjust the little pools of energy around the university. So as a result, I think this is like trash, kind of like, it's a not D. It's like forgettable. Alright, Jazargo's Experiment, where you test out his flame cloaks. Not bad for what it is. Kind of cool to an extent. Jazargo's a good character. I'll give him a B, because it's pretty good. Omun's Request, where you help him get his amulet from that elf who won't give it back. And a standard fetch quest stuff, C tier. Alright, Braylina's Practice, where Braylina's testing her magical skills on you. This quest is hilarious. I'm giving it an A because you get turned into animals, and it's just comedic fun times. I wish we had more stuff like this in the actual quest line for College of Winterhold. Alright. Rejoin the college. If you get kicked out, you gotta rejoin. Never did it. Alright. This is gonna be Tolfdir the Absent-Minded. So, this is where Tolfdir misplaced something and you have to help him find it. It's just basically hide and seek with an item, D tier. Alright, we got some, we got some freaking Radiant quests. So, fetch me that book, Shaldor's Insights, Aftershock, what was that, Enchanting Pickups, Restocking Soul Gems, those are going to be Radiants. And then we get the, Master level ritual spells. I've actually never did most of them. The only one I actually did was Alteration, and I don't even remember it that well. I think you have to get a dagger, a special dagger, and get heart scales, but I don't remember what else you do. Well, everything else, never did, because it's no secret I don't like magic in Skyrim. I don't think it's done that well. Like, actually, I'm playing Oblivion right now. I like how they do their magic a bit more, like the Oblivion remake, and I like their magic more there. So, as a result, I never really did any of these. So, as a result, never did it is actually piling up, and is it surprising that I actually never did some of these quests? Well, we'll find out more as we go on. Alright, next up is the companions. First up is Taking Up Arms. the first quest for the companions where you join them. I'll give it C. I mean, comparative to other stuff, like, I'm not as amazed. It's kind of forgettable joining up with them to an extent. You don't remember it as much. Alright, Proving Honor, where you and Farkas go to Dustman's Cairn. You learn about werewolves and all that stuff. I like Dustman's Cairn. I like Farkas. I like the reveal of the Silver Hand. I like the reveal of werewolf stuff. I'm gonna give this an A. I think it's really good. Alright, the Silver Hand, where you get transformed into a werewolf. And this is where I honestly believe the companions are actually a Daedric cult worshipping hair scene, something I've talked about in many videos beforehand. So, where do I want to put this? I think it's B. I would put it higher, but the big issue with it is they're doing the ritual in the city, and you turn to a werewolf in the city, leading to a lot of issues, and as a result, which is why I question the companions' aspect of actual warriors. They're more cultists than warriors, and I will die on that hill, but overall, the quest line-wise, I'll give it a B, especially when you do that thing to, hunt the Silver Hand in their fort, and Skewer dies, but no one cares about Skewer, so B. Alright, this one got cut off. What was this one called? Let me check my notes. Alright, Blood's Honor. You gotta kill the witches to try and cure Kodlak and his stuff. Fetch quest, C. Alright, Purity of Revenge, where you and Vilkas go to the Silver Hand, you destroy them, and recover the fragments of Wufrad. Honestly, this one is very disappointing, because the Silver Hand, we don't know anything about them. There's no leader for it. There's no nothing for it. The Silver Hand just pushed to the side, which is just the biggest issue with the Companions questline as a whole. It's very jumbled up. You have the Wufrad storyline, the Silver Hand storyline, the Lycanthropy storyline. So many storylines combined into one, it's all messed up. Silver Hand, I would say, probably gets it the worst to an extent. So, I think this is just D. Not satisfying. We don't really see enough of the Silver Hand. I don't even think the Silver Hand are villains, because I consider them like the Dawnguard to an extent, because Dawnguard kill vampires, and we don't think the Dawnguard are evil. Why is the Silver Hand evil? Because they're hunting werewolves. And if you find out one of the biggest warrior groups in Skyrim is a bunch of werewolf cultists, I feel like you're in your right to go after them. And Glory of the Dead, where you help Kodlak cure himself. Honestly, B tier. I am being generous because I like Kodlak, but like I said, the Companion's questline is just so jumbled up. Alright, next up is going to be Gunnar Cutoff one. Give me a moment. Alright, this is going to be stealing plans. I think this is one of the things where you try and steal information from the, Silver Hand. So that gets C tier. Alright, Striking the Heart. Another Silver Hand related thing where you go after them. Another C tier. Alright, Retrieval. Not Revival, Retrieval, where you go recover fragments of Wufrad. And that's going to be another C tier. Companions is just like mid. Totems of Fear scene. I'll actually like it to an extent because I like that mechanic to do stuff to try and improve the werewolf form to swap different stuff, which also adds into the Fear scene cult thing. I'll give it a B because you need to collect it a few times, and I think it's kind of cool, but besides that, it's okay. Purity, where you cure Farkas, Vilkas, and I guess yourself if you want to get rid of it. The werewolf powers, C. Alright, and the rest of these, for companions, it's just Radiant, so Animal Extermination, Hired Muscle, Trouble in Skyrim, Family Heirloom, Escaped Criminal, what's this one? Rescue Mission, Dragon Seekers, all that are Radiant, so fills that up. So that's going to be all the companion missions. So C's filling up, B's filling up, Radiant's filling up, but no one cares about Radiant that much. And you may be wondering, Faceless, if you don't like Radiant, you're just going to put its own tier, why do you even add them to the list? I did because there's always going to be some smart mouth that being like, well, actually, you didn't put all the quests in the game. But yeah, again, that smart mouth's going to be like, well, actually, you didn't put all the kill contracts as separate things, you kind of amalgamated them. Shut up, I will throw a shoe at you. Alright, next up is the Thieves Guild, we're making progress. We'll get done with this soon enough, hopefully. All right, a chance arrangement where you first starting off quest for the Thieves Guild. Meet Brynjolf for the first time. I like Brynjolf. I think he's a good character. I wish he did more in the story, but overall, I like it. I'll give it a B. I think it deserves that. All right, taking care of business. The first things you do for the Thieves Guild is you basically extort people for money. Pretty interesting. I like the mechanics you do to try and do it. I'll give it a B as well. Good start for the Thieves Guild. Loud and clear. You go to the honey farm. You burn down beehives. You do all that. It's fine for what it is. I'll give it a C. Dampened Spirits, where you go to Hunting Brew Meadery to poison their vats. I'll give this a C because I'm helping Maven Blackbriar, and I don't like Maven Blackbriar. Alright, Scoundrels Fully. This is going to be the East Empire Company quest where you have to tell Gulamai, I believe his name is, and you learn about Carlia for the first time. I'll give it a C. I was considering B, but I don't like the sneaking around aspect of the East Empire Company that much. Speaking with Silence, this is going to be a big deal quest. I'm going to give this an A because this is like a big twist moment with Mercer's betrayal, Carlia actually being good. This is like well done. It foreshadows the skeleton key with Mercer's skills with it. It's really good. A tier. All right, next up is Hard Answers, where you have to go learn about what was the name? Gaius's journal. It has to get encoded, but you gotta learn a few things. I'll give it a B because it has some Dwemer related stuff to it. All right, The Pursuit, where you go to Mercer's house and learn where he went. C tier. Trinity Restored. You get Nightingale armor for the first time. I love Nightingale armor. It is amazing. Honestly, I shouldn't put Trinity Restored this high up, but that armor is my favorite armor in the whole game. It gets A tier. It shouldn't, but I'm doing it anyways because my list. Alright, Blindsided. The Eyes of the Falmer, the confrontation with Mercer Frey, Dwemer Ruins. You know where this is going. S tier. And Darkness Returns. So, where kill Mercer, get the skeleton key, return it to the Twilight Sepulchre. I'll give it a C. I was thinking lower, but it's fine for what it is. Alright, under new management, this is going to get D tier because you have to do a lot of BS and grinding to get this quest to play to actually conclude it. I don't like all the work you have to do. I kind of like what the Thieves Guild was done to an extent in Oblivion. Not to say that I like the Thieves Guild that much in Oblivion, but like at least I'd rather steal stuff and fence it and increase my stuff to do missions than to do all that Radiant stuff. Speaking of, we do all the Radiant stuff for each proper place, city, I mean. Alright, Imitation Amnesty. This is where you do it in Whiterun, where what happens in this one? I think you need to steal documents to try and forge something. I'm actually blanking on this one. I have to don't remember. I don't remember it that well. Somerset Shadows. That's where you have to kill a rival group of thieves in Windhelm. I'll give that C. Silver Lining. This is the Markarth one where you have to go to Pine Watch, that dungeon, and explore that around. I'll give this a B because Pine Watch is kind of cool. Dainty Slow. That's the one with Erica and Solitude where you have to go to Dainty Slode, and I think you have to plant evidence of somebody doing something bad. C tier. No Stone Unturned. This is going to get a D tier because all the work you have to do for the stones, which isn't terrible, but the Crown of Baron's Eye is not worth it. The reward's not worth it. It's D. It's not the worst collection stuff. Believe me, there is a worser one, and you'll know it when you see it, but D tier. Not great. And then, to wrap up Thieves Guild, guess what? Radiant Quest. So we have the Bedlam job, the Fishing job, the Numbers job. Which job was this one? I don't remember. I think it was Heist. No, this is Burglary. We got Heist. We got Chill. And then we get Sweep. So that is the Thieves Guild taken care of. Next up, Civil War. Civil War, we're just going to run through quick. All right, joining the Legion. I'm going to give this a D. Not because I dislike the Legion, but like, this is just a standard go to a fort, kill bandits. I was expecting something different and better for the Legion. Like, why are they sending one person to take down a whole fort? And not to mention, we do more fort takedowns throughout the entire Legion storyline, so kind of pointless. At least with the Stormcloak one, which is cut off, but this is the one for the Stormcloaks. You get to kill an Ice Wraith, which is slightly more interesting, but just for C, though. Jagged Crown. I like the Jagged Crown. I think it's an interesting quest. The Jagged Crown's not relevant whatsoever for this quest line in general, but I like the Jagged Crown. I'm going to give it an A. I think it's a good quest and a cool exploration. Message to Whiterun, where you have to, message to Whiterun on whether Whiterun is Legion or Stormcloak. It's Legion. As a result, build up quest, C. Alright, Battle for Whiterun. First proper battle. I wish we would have gotten more of these in the Civil War. I give it an A. And that's going to be about it. And our next ones are Reunification of Skyrim and Liberation of Skyrim, which is Legion and Stormcloak respectively. I don't have all the individual missions for it because they're the same thing, vice versa. Forts, convoy, this, that, everything else. I'm going to give them both C because they're not that special or important. Alright, Civil War's done. We got that quick because it's the Civil War. No one cares about it. We still got a long way to go. Alright. Now we're on the Daedra quest. Alright, starting us first with the Black Star. Where do I want to put Black Star? I think it's okay for what it is. I prefer getting the Black Star than Azure Star. I think I'll give this B. I think it's cool enough to where you go into the Soul Gem to kill that dude. I think that's cool. So B. Boethius Calling. This is going to be controversial. I'm going to put in D. I never really liked Ebony Mail that much. I don't like the aspect of you have to be stealthy even though it's not required. You have to sacrifice a follower, which isn't a big deal because there's a ton of followers, but and level 30 to do it as well. I don't like Boethius Calling. Alright, Daedra's Best Friend. I never cared for this one either. Some will say, what was the dog's name? I don't remember his name. It's not Farkas. I don't care for this one. I don't like the Massive Clavicus file. D tier. This is gonna be controversial. The most controversial section, so I'll give you the Daedra quest one. Discerning the Transmundane, Hermaeus Mora's Ultima Infinia. That's A tier because you gotta do the Dwemer Ruins. You do Blackreach. You gotta go get the blood. I like the encounters with Hermaeus Mora. I think he is one of my favorite Daedric princes, if not my favorite Daedric prince. And the Ultima is kind of cool as well, so A. I'll be met by Moonlight. I will give this... I'll give it a B. Because I like the premise of it. You help a guy who can't control his werewolf powers, leading to you encountering Hircine, and you get the choice of if you want the Savior's Hide or Ring of Hircine. I give it a B. Alright, the Cursed Tribe. You get, Valen Room, to help the orcs out. Let's see. Pieces of the Past, where you get the Razor. It's a cool quest to an extent. Though some of it is kind of repetitive to an extent. It's more fetch questing stuff. I will give this a C. Whispering Door, where you get the Amity Blade. I love the Amity Blade. I love Mephala. I love all this stuff. I'm going to give this B. Because Amity Blade is the best Daedric artifact in the game. It is so broken. I love it. Not to mention it's a big katana. I like katanas. The Break of Dawn, where you go... As much as we meme on a new hand touches the beacon, this is a good quest. I like it. I think it might actually be the best one because I love the area we do it. I love Dawnbreaker. The fight with the Necromancer is surprisingly kind of tough because he can one-shot you. The amount of gold you can get, oh my god, Break of Dawn, it's S tier. I like it. And that's saying a lot because I have it higher than Discerning the Transmundane and the Whispering Door. And it is a meme. A new hand touches the beacon. The House of Horrors. That's the one where you do the, House with Mole-like Ball and all that stuff. I never cared for this one. D. Alright. A Taste of Death, Nermina. D tier, I hate cannibalism. Alright, the only cure, this is the Periite one, where you go to Dwemer Ruins, you have to help his followers who are afflicted, you gotta kill someone, B tier. A Night to Remember, Sanguine, and the Hangover quest, A tier. It's memorable. It's an amazing one. You have to talk about that like that. The Mind of Madness, this is gonna be controversial. I think it's C. I think it's mid. I never really liked it that much. The Wombajack's cool, but I never really cared for the quest in general. I think it's better than some of the other ones, but not by much. It's C tier. Break me over the coals if you wish. Waking Nightmare, I'll give this one a C as well. Not because I like the staff, I like Aaron. No, hear me out. Actually, I think... where is it? No, I gotta put it in B. I think it's good. I like Aaron as a character. I love exploring. I love his history. It's very character focused. I don't like the Staff Skull of Corruption that much. I think it's kind of crap, but I think this is a good quest. So B, not C. And that's all the Daedric quests taken care of. So, really filling out. Alright, we are now on the side quest stuff for the main game. And then, after all the side stuff, we pivot over to the DLCs. We're making progress with this team. We'll get there done soon enough. Lost to the Ages, the Ethereum Forge, Katria, or Kataria, I don't remember her name, but the Ghost Girl, all that stuff. I love this quest. This is an easy S tier, no difficulty. Alright, return to your roots. Remember during the No Stone Left Unturned quest with the Stones of Baron Zaya that there was a worser quest? There we go, right here. The Crimson Nirn Roots of Blackreach goes right there. Next up, Repentance. This is a very underrated quest. It's a good quest, though, where you have to help a witch kill her mother because she wants to become a Hagraven. I'm going to give it a B. It's really good. If it was more well-known, I'd give it an A, but it isn't. But B, I think B is really good for it. Siege of the Dragon Cult. Alright, this is going to be an A tier quest because Dragon Priest Mask, I love the Dragon Priest. The start of it, you have this Thalmor agent undercover as either a Legionnaire or a Stormcloak, and he gets you to go into the crypt and to steal the mask. And basically, I feel like this was this build of something that I think got cut, but overall, I love the Siege of the Dragon Cult. It's really good. Frostflow Abyss, where you go to the Abyss, a family got murdered at their lighthouse. The Falmer did it. It's very creepy, very ambient to an extent. I will give this a B. I think it's pretty good. Pale Lady. This is another one of these underrated quests, but I love the premise of it. A dude goes crazy, and he's trying to return a sword because the Pale Lady's haunting him, and he's going crazy. I think it's one of these quests where it's one of the... You do a... I guess what you would call it, I guess a pivot or a twist where you have to return the artifact. Granted, you can kill the Pale Lady and keep the artifact, but I like the premise of that, so I'll give this a B. Scroll for Anska. This is another Dragon Priest quest. Anska was an interesting character, but there really wasn't a real follow-up for it where you get the scroll for her, for Ysgramor's thing. No follow-up. We never get a result for it, so C. Forgetting about Fjorja. So this is a forgotten one where you go to a dungeon. I forget which one. This man's trying to find his wife, but the wife left him and she wanted to be a bandit, which is a choice. Interesting, but I give it a C. Alright, the Lost Expedition. So this is the ruins in Markarth, because Markarth is a Dwemer city, and you have to turn on the defenses to get rid of the Falmer. I like the premise of it. I'm going to give this... I think it's a B, in all honesty. I wish there was more stuff going on for it, but B. Telvar's Request. So basically a dude needs help, but it's a trap and he's trying to kill you. I'll give it D. I don't care for it. Forgettable. Legend of Red Eagle. Another treasure quest where you have to go find a legendary sword of Red Eagle. I think you read his book and you learn about it. C tier. Lifting the Shroud. So this is Bleak Falls, not Bleak Falls, Shroudhearth Barrow, the one with the ghost guy who pretends he's a ghost to try and scare people so he can loot the crypt. Interesting premise. I'll give it a B. Infiltration, where you sneak into a fort to help somebody kill some bandits. And I think you get detect life from this quest. I'll give it a C. Standard, nothing special. Evil in Waiting, another Dragon Priest quest where you help a ghost get rid of Valok. Not Valok, have Norak. A lot of Dragon Priests. Valok's a lot later. Have Norak. This match was okay. I like this quest a lot. I will give this a B. Alright, Silence Tongue. So this is the quest in which, if you remember in the Dark Brotherhood, you have to go into the crypt to talk to Amon. It's that crypt where this quest activates. But for the like of me, I don't remember anything about it. I remember where it takes place, but I don't remember anything about it, so don't remember. Tending the Flames. This is going to be the Bard's College one. I'm going to give this an A tier. It's really good. I like it. Bard's College as a faction sucks, but I love the premise of this quest in general. Really good. Blood on the Ice, the Serial Killer one. I'm going to give this a D. And the reason why? Because this quest always bugs out on me. I never really liked it that much. And as a result, so yeah, D. And didn't really like the twist of it. Very uninteresting. White Phial, you go recover the White Phial. The basically potion bottle that always refills. I'll give it a C for this, and repairing the phial, I'll give it a D because I don't like the phial that much. Rise in the East, where you help the East Empire Company, I'll most call it the East India Company, with pirates. I'll give this a B. Yeah, if I'm not going super detailed with all the quests, because I've been going for this for a while. I kind of want to get this done to an extent, so let's continue on. Lights Out, where you help Jari Ra take the lights off of a lighthouse, and he double crosses you. It's predictable, but killing Jari Ra is satisfying. I'll give it a B. Man Who Cried Wolf and Wolf Queen Awakens. These are S tier right here. These are amazing quests. So, because I like Potema the Wolf Queen, I think she was a good antagonist. Honestly, if they wanted to pick something else instead of Alduin for the main quest, Potema would be a good alternative. So those two are S tiers. Laid to Rest. This is the Morphal one with the vampires. I'll give it a C. It's okay. Rising at Dawn. This is the one where you... what goes on? You talk to Thalion and Morphal to cure vampirism, which... I've done it before a few times because, you know, Dawn Guard, that happens. I don't think this is trash. I don't think... I'm going to put in D, not because it's bad, because I don't do it often enough to merit putting it higher than a C. It's very simplistic. Forbidden Legend, the Gralder Amulet. You have to kill the 3, get the pieces, reforge the amulet. I will give this an A. The Heart of the Bella, underrated quest. You have... And it doesn't activate that often, because I think you have to be caught sneaking into the Temple of the Bella Markarth to steal something, which a homeless person tells you to do. You have to get caught to activate, and you have to go find a girl who's going to be important. I'll give it a C. Not bad, but not that important in the grand scheme of things, and it's hard to trigger. Forsworn Conspiracy, hot take, never liked the Forsworn Conspiracy. I give it a D. Never cared for it. I felt like I was forced to do that quest. I never wanted to do it. Alright, No One Escapes Hidden of Mine. I'll give it a B because it's kind of interesting. I like prison escape quests to an extent. Promises to Keep. You steal Maven Blackbriar's horse. I'll give it a C. Unfathomable Depths, where you have to go return something to a Dwemer ruin. And I think as a result, you get an increase to smithing. I'll give this a B. Alright, the Book of Love, where you get people to fall in love. You're basically a matchmaker. C tier. It's novel, but not that important. Kind Sacred Trials. This is like a forgotten quest where you do some trials for a hunter to learn some stuff. I've done it before. I don't remember that much about it. I remember you kill animals and you get a boon. I remember it, but I'm going to give it a D because it's forgettable. Missing in Action. This is with the Greymane family to help their kid, their son, who got abducted by the Thalmor. I'll give it a C. My Time in Need. So this is the Kamatu Thadia one. That everybody's like, who's telling the truth? Who's doing what? C tier. I never cared for it. Blessings of Nature, you help the Evergreen in, or it's the Evergloom. No, the big tree in Whiterun. You talk to the priestess there to help her fix it, C tier. Dragon Claw, I'm just gonna, the Golden Claw, I'm gonna put this next to, where's Bleak Falls Barrow? Yep, right there, B tier, because those two are connected. It's the same quest. Alright, now, oh my god, I'm tired. How long have I been going on? Too long. Alright, we're done with the main game. Let us go to the DLCs. Starting us off with Dawn Guard, where you join the Dawn Guard for the first time. B. I like the beginning of it. I think it was very cool. All right, Awakening. I will also give this a B as well because you meet. Actually, no. I'll give it B. Yeah, because no, you have to do the quest that gets to Serana, and Serana's meeting gets really good. But I think there's other stuff that are ranked higher than it. Bloodline. I'll give it C. You just return Serana home, and you get the choice with Harkin if you want to be a vampire or no. All right. New Order. This is the Dawn Guard one where you have to recruit people to the cause. C. Bloodstone Chalice. This is the first one as a vampire where you have to get the Bloodstone Chalice. That's going to be a C. Prophet. The one with the Moth Priest you encounter. I will give this a C. Alright, Scroll Scouting. This is the one, I think this is optional to an extent, where if you complete the main quest and you gave the College Werewolf the Elder Scroll at the end of it, you can go get it back. I think this is this one. I'll give it D though. Alright, Chasing Echoes. This is a good one where I think you have to go into the castle, sneak in to try and find the Soul Cairn. And the Soul Cairn as well, which I will also put in B because Soul Cairn's really, you know what? No, B. I think B suits it. I don't know if it's an A though I have been very finicky with the A's in all honesty, but it is what it is. Alright, Seeking Disclosure. This is the quest where you collect all, and I do mean all, of the Elder Scrolls. It's D. Like, it's important, but like, you're gonna do it all in general. Alright, Unseen Visions, where you go read the Elder Scrolls because the Moth Priest is blind. Touching the Sky, I will give this an A. It is a very big quest, but I like it. The reveal of Verfer being a vampire, the Oriel's bow, all that. I think it's deserving of an A. Kindred Judgment, I'm going to give a B. The fight with Harkin's good, but Harkin as a villain is not great because we don't encounter Harkin that much, especially if you're in the Dawn Guard side of things. While on the vampire side of things, his betrayal just feels really out of the blue, not really built up whatsoever. Alright, now we get to some of the miscellaneous quests of Dawn Guard. Alright, Preemptive Strike. I think a lot of these are going to be Radiant or Don't Remembers. So Preemptive Strike, I think this was a Radiant one. Ancient Technologies, I'm actually going to rank as I'm going to rank it as D because I like the premise of the quest, but like you do it too many times for like different specialty bolts. I feel like you have things as a quest that should only be done like once or twice. Once for an improved crossbow and another for a Dwemer crossbow, but all the other ones for individual bolts are dumb. Alright, bolstering the rank. That's where you get the Priest of RK, who's kind of crazy, who talks to himself. I'll give it a B because I like that guy. Alright, Lost Relic. I think a lot of these are just going to be Radiants or stuff I didn't do. Lost Relic. I don't remember Lost Relic. I think I've done it, but I don't remember it. Hide and Seek. Radiant. Chasing Light. Radiant. Hunting the Monster. Radiant. 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 Ring of Blood Magic. This is kind of a different one where you collect like magical rings for the vampires that help you out. I will give this a B because those really do help you out if you're doing a vampire run. And I think there is another one for it, but we'll get there when we get there. Protecting the Bloodline, that's Radiant. Deceiving the Herd, Radiant. Ancient Power, Radiant. New Allegiances, Radiant. Amulets of Night Power, that's going to be similar to the Rings of Blood Magic, because those are connected with amulets this time. Culling the Beast, Radiant. The Hunt, Radiant. Destroying the Dawn Guard, I'm giving a D, because it doesn't feel as special, unlike when you're the Dawn Guard and you destroy the vampires. That was epic, but for this one, it's just kind of boring and dull. The Gift, this is going to be a trash tier quest, because I remember this one. So, for this one, when you're a vampire and you talk to them, if you're married, you can turn your spouse into a vampire as well. I think it's stupid because it doesn't help with anything whatsoever. Alright, so that's all the Dawn Guard ones. We are almost done, guys. Just hang in there. Dragonborn's left, and then we'll just be done and finito, and I can rest and drink water, because my voice be musky right now. Alright, Dragonborn. The start of the Dragonborn quest. I will give this a B. The cultist, the boat ride, everything for it. I love the build up for it. Temple of Mirak. This is going to get an A, because I love the Temple of Mirak as a dungeon. It is really good. I love meeting Freya, good character, all that. This is like really good build up for it. Alright, the Fae of the Skull, where you help the Skull out. I like the Skull. I'll give them a B. Cleansing the Stones. This is going to get a D. This is just kind of boring and redundant. I don't really care for it that much. Alright, the Path of Knowledge, where you and Neloth go to Nachardak. I love Nachardak. Actually, I might give this an S. I think it's really good. I love Nachardak. I love the premise for it. The Dwarven Ballistas, the cubes, the water filling, Neloth, everything about it. It is just really good and well done. It is S tier for sure. Alright, too far down. Alright, Gardener of Man. You give Stormcraig Strider, the leader of the Skull, the book, and he dies. C tier. Alright, the Summit of Apocrypha, the confrontation with Mirak. I'll give it an A, because I like the fight showdown of it. It does feel epic, but I feel like the conclusion where Hermaeus Mora gets involved and he's the one who asks Mirak disappoints it. If it didn't have that, I would give it an S, but A. Alright, the Black Book. So this is another one of these amalgams that I did, because there's a lot of Black Book quests. I will give the Black Books a B. I find them interesting. They do give good benefits, but a lot of them are the same to an extent, and I don't remember each benefit that well. Alright, so side quest for Dragonborn. A new debt. So when you find Neloth's new steward, this debt collector gets mad at you, and he wants you to pay the debt. I hate this one. Goes in trash tier. March of the Dead. So, dude is sending Ashbond to Raven Rock to cause issues, and as a result, you gotta kill him. C. Served Cold. What was Served Cold? I don't remember. Final Descent. Alright, this is Bloodskull Barrow. Very cool. I like Bloodskull Barrow. I'm gonna give this a B. Alright, a new source of Stalrim. So this is the one where you encounter the Thalmor, because they abduct one of the Skull to try and learn about Stalrim. I will give this B, because Stalrim is interesting. Filial Bonds. Never did. But this is involved werebears, because I think somebody's brother's a werebear and you have to find them, and I think you kill him. Lost Legacy. Valok's Tomb, where you go with that scholar. I like Valok's Tomb. I like the premise of it, but the fact that he doesn't get a Dragon Priest Mask is disappointing, but I think it's deserving of an A. Alright. Azur's Staff. I believe this is a Neloth quest, but I think I did it, but I don't think it was that interesting. But I don't remember. I don't remember it that well. Briarheart Necropsy. So Neloth puts a spell on you because he wants to study the Briarhearts, the Forsworn Briarhearts. So you go kill one. I'll give this a B, just because Neloth is funny in this one. And he says at the end of it, like, alright, he removes the spell, because the spell is like, it's going to record all your memories and everything you see through your eyes. And Neloth at the end of it's just like, oh, if there's any private or personal moments, that will be kept at our strictest confidence. And I find that very hilarious. And that can be interpreted in many different ways. So, wait, C? No, this is B. I like Briarheart Necropsy. These These tiers are so big, they're filling up. I'm thinking tiers are certain tiers, but they're not. Alright, experimental subject, another Neloff thing where I think he helps you boost your health, but I think it backfires to an extent. Neloff he gets a C. Alright, from the ashes, you have to kill an ash spawn that spawns in. I'll give this a D because it just happens and you do it just to do it. Healing a house, Neloff's mushroom house is falling apart and you need to fix it, C. Heartstones, where you learn about heartstones to an extent, because I think heartstones were needed to make stabs, so I will give this a C. Lost knowledge, I believe Neloff sends you to find a black book, and I'll put this with the other black book, so B, because I guess they're connected to an extent. Old friend, so Neloff's old assistant, steward, whoever it was, is mad and wants revenge on him, and as a result, you gotta kill that person. I will give it a C. Reluctant steward, you have to find the steward for Neloff, a C. Telvanni research, you help Neloff with more things, C. Windy, I can't read that well. I think this is another thing for Neloff, so I'll put that in C. No, wait, I don't remember this one actually. Death Brand. Alright, so this is gonna get... I'll give this S. I think Death Brand's really cool. I love treasure hunts. I love the Death Brand armor. You have to do Stalrim. All that's really good. So I think it's deserving of an S. Alright, Retaking Thirsk. So this is the one with the mead hall that gets taken over by Reeklings. And as a result, you have to help those Nords if you do it. I will give this a C. While for the Chief of Thirsk Hall with the Reeklings, I'm actually going to give an A because it's so ridiculous and stupid, it's funny. Alright, last two, Unearthed. So, this one, I know a lot of people don't like it, and it's fair, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of money, but you get Azazel's armor, and you get a Dragon Priest mask, but the time, the money, I'll give it a D. I don't think it's trash, but my god, it's not great. And last one, Ebony Warrior. Ebony Warrior has to be an S tier. Like, it's iconic. It's probably the biggest challenge you'll ever get in Skyrim whatsoever. And with that taken care of, 227 images. 227 quests have been added in. S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, trash tier, Radiant, don't remember, never did. That is all of them. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment down below what you thought of this. Did I miss any quest? Which might be possible because this was a lot, and I do mean a lot of quests, and I wouldn't be surprised if I forgot something. But anyhow, let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know. If you want to mess with this tier list yourself, it is publicly available on tiermaker.com. I will put it in the description below so you can access it. And I'm sorry if my thoughts were all over the place because talking off the cuff is not something I'm used to that often. But anyhow, I hope you enjoyed Skyrim Month this year with a very big, ambitious video. I really hope you liked it. If I have time, maybe I might squeak another Skyrim video out, but it's probably going to be something very unorthodox and different. I have an idea, but I'm not going to say what it is in case I don't do it, and I don't want people's hopes to be lifted and then smashed. But anyway, I've rambled long enough, and I really, really need something to drink, so comment down below what you think. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Until next time, I will catch you all on the flip side.